Hello, YouTube. I know a lot of you are eagerly awaiting the Pay It Forward channel going live. I'm hoping to do a video on that for there today, and then bringing that online. Today I will be working on putting up the hut videos because the RV videos are kind of caught up. I am still not fully done with the RV, as you can see. But I wanted to give those of you who are struggling to get things done a little bit of a hint. Basically, I know it can be overwhelming. Life can be overwhelming with all the projects we have to work on, especially those of you. I think my alarm just went off. All right, time to get up. All right, we're up. But anyhow, I just wanted to show you a little project that I'm working on, and several of the little projects I've been working on for the last couple days. Even though I still have like major projects, like finishing up the roofing, trying to get the roof. You know, I'm basically planning on rebuilding a top roof for the whole RV to try to control the water situation and also give me access up there without falling through. And that is a major project that I don't know if I'll be able to do here where I'm parked. Unless I can do it in stealth, like secretly do it a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time. But anyhow, I just wanted to give you a little tip if you're working on a big project. Connie, you said you were doing some house renovations and you get some kind of, sometimes you get kind of overwhelmed with the situation and all that needs to be done. What I typically do, and you know, some viewers will actually harp on me on that, is I don't necessarily deal with the biggest stuff first, which was the leak. Remember the roof leak, which still is an ongoing issue, although honestly, right now at this point, it's not leaking in here, so I think I have the leaks under control. You know, the water that you guys saw the other day on the air vent up there in the living room was from condensation that had formed because I had left the window vent up there, the front window vent. I mean, not window, the top roof vent. I had left it open. So hot air was coming in, and because this AC right here, that AC that was installed, that I didn't install, it was already there, but it is super cold. It's super efficient or something, but it works like really well. It could turn this RV into a refrigerator. But anyhow, it was causing water to condense along the what do they call it? The duct, you know, the tubes and stuff that ran under the ceiling. And that's what that water condensation was. It wasn't a leak. It was actually pulling water from the air. That's how humid it is in Florida. But anyhow, what you're looking at today that I'm working on is actually a very minor project. I have this thing that I bought from Goodwill for $2, but it's basically a surge suppressor with multi-plug outlet. Even has it for cable and stuff like that. But what I did was I, you know, took a piece of paper, obviously, scrap paper, and then I punched the holes where the holes go. And I put those screws there, and I'm going to be mounting it on there so that this is nice and out of the way. And I know the wall hasn't been painted yet. The white paint you see on there was what they did previously. I'm going to be repainting everything. But I've been working on like little projects. Sorry about that. Went out of focus here. All right, I've been working on like a lot of little projects instead of big projects like the roofing. And the reason for that is the roofing would take a long time and a lot of effort. I don't have the time right now, nor the energy. So I've been doing little projects like mounting that electrical outlet. And then like last night, I built like a little shelf thingy here. You can see here, this is still kind of in process. This camera's having a hard. This is a new camera and it's having a hard time focusing here. Probably because low light in here. I don't have the lights turned on, but I took the scrap wood and I built like a little wall here to keep everything in place. And the reason is so that when I'm driving, stuff doesn't fly out. What I'm trying to do is mount stuff down so that if I have to move the RV, I don't have to move everything and secure everything again. I only have to move a couple loose items. So this will allow me to store my water. I figure I could try to always have 2 gallons of cooking water or drinking water sitting out here, mostly cooking water for rice, for making rice. So I typically buy water, or I'm going to go pay to have it refilled Although I can refill it here at the park with my filter, and I do that too. So I save the bottles of water here that can be used for cooking, and I also left a little slot there for the cooking oil, and have some here for fish sauce and soy sauce, which I use a lot. The only thing missing is my lemon, which is right now here, although I'll probably figure out another place to put it. The idea is to keep stuff that you use all the time within hand's reach, which I use this all the time. And I built this using, just scraps. I had to put pieces together and screw it in. It's not pretty, but it works. And of course, our infamous L bracket, even though I did bust the wood down there, but it's okay. It just needs to be strong enough to hold everything so that when I drive, the water bottles and stuff don't fly everywhere. And they're there where they need to be, so I can grab them to use and save myself some time. Those of you who were worried about asking me about like rodents and stuff, or maybe even like bugs, I haven't really seen any in here. I did when I first got into the RV, but I sprayed. And then I get this thing called the Catchmaster, which is a mouse and insect glue board, and you can see it's fairly empty. I think it caught a little spider, one little tiny spider in there. I don't know if you can see the little spider. But other than that, I haven't really seen any more roaches and stuff in here. We had palmetto bugs when I first started, but I got rid of them by spraying. And since then, I haven't had any. And when I see ants outside crawling around, I typically would I try not to kill them, actually. I try to just push their mound away and get water on them and keep them away from the RV. But I guess I should count my lucky stars that I haven't had those issues. I haven't really had bugs in here. I did take the time to mount the toaster oven in place. You'll recall I had mentioned about trying to secure everything. I'm not going to secure this, obviously, because this can come off real quick. But this was secured. I did use L brackets here. L brackets is the magic word here. L brackets is holding everything down. It's not super tight, but it's enough to keep things from flying. And here, I was going to use L brackets by drilling a hole here, but then this plastic was so thick it wouldn't go through. Then I realized there were handles there, so I just drilled holes straight through the handles. You see I did one on each side, and then I put a screw down there. So it's holding this unit from sliding. And I mounted it at an angle so that it would come out like this and basically have some air vent. And I do need to work on the back wall, so I needed access to that space. And even the knife holder here, it swivels a little bit, but it only has a little tiny L bracket. I may put another one on the other side, but for now I think one. The whole idea isn't really to make things so they don't move, even though this doesn't move, obviously. It's in place. The idea is to keep things so that when I'm driving, they don't fly everywhere. This will allow me to put my knives on there and stay secure. I am going to be building a little live garden here to grow like the onion stalks and maybe oregano, maybe, I don't know, just basil, probably Thai basil, maybe even a Thai pepper plant. I'm going to try to have a little garden right here that I can pull food, fresh food that I grow. Using my water here from, you can see we've got the little vent thingy going here, and it is flowing pretty nicely. I know some of you are like, why is he fixing it like that? Well, first off, I don't really think that this is all the water that's being generated from the condensation. There may be, as one of the viewers suggested, a sag in the roof. So there's a little bit of a spillover coming out here, which I have to address when I go up on the roof to deal with. But that's not a rush. And the reason it's not a rush is I have all these other things I have to do to make the RV more habitable and like a home, which some people are saying that I'm doing it out of sequence, but I'm doing it because I'm living here and I'm trying to keep myself from going nuts. And if I try to work on all the big projects, one, I can't just climb up on the roof in this place where I'm at. I can get in, trouble with the owners and they can end up kicking me out. So I have to be very careful on what kind of construction I do. But two, this works for now. And honestly, I do like it. It is like a water feature. I don't even see all the water going there. It's pretty. It's cool. It's relaxing. It's calming to watch. Just watch the water flow. You see that? It's like a little train of water that comes down and goes straight to the sink. So I've mounted things. Rice cooker's not going to be mounted. So I'm going to have a couple loose items that I move when when I'm moving the RV, which hopefully isn't too often. And basically that's what I'm doing. I'm working on little projects as I can because the leak's pretty much under control. By the way, for those of you wondering what was going on with the door, it turned out that I think they changed the door hardware on here. And what happened was this thing was not lining up. This hole right here was not lining up with the doors. You see this part right here. It wasn't fitting, and the door wasn't shutting properly. One of the viewers had commented on that on the episode where I showed the water. You know, it was raining inside the RV in the door area. And they were saying their problem was the door didn't shut correctly. So I was looking at this area here, and it has like a rubber seal. And it seemed like it was pretty good, but the door is actually slightly misaligned. And what happened was it wasn't shutting here. So I may have fixed it. I don't know yet until it rains, but I am planning on putting a new rubber gasket around. But I tried to get it to line up, and it turned out it was too low. That thing wasn't lining up. This thing was mounted up like this and screwed into place. So I ended up having to move it down, and it's only limited in adjustment, but it's bringing it down like this. It is adjusted enough that the door is now lining up correctly. Now, I thought I had it down deeper. I wonder if I just messed up my thing. But I had to pry this open with a screwdriver and hammer it down because I wanted to lower the hole so that it would line up. Let me see if it shuts correctly now. Yeah, so the door is shut now. Before I had not a bungee cord, but a little tie here to tie the door while I was traveling so the door didn't keep flying open. And it was because it was not catching on here. So now it's in place. The door does shut. See, it's not opening now. So that is like a little fix that I did. And here you can see I mounted a little bit of a area here for letters, mail, incoming, outgoing mail. So originally I was going to buy one of those wooden things from Goodwill because I didn't want to spend more than $5 total, I could make one or I could buy one, and I couldn't find one that was flat. They had some big ones that looked like tables and stuff like that, but they didn't have like a little hanger with the little slits. So what I did was I went to Dollar Tree and I bought this school supply Ziploc thingy. Not Ziploc, but zipper thingy. And I decided to just screw that into place. You can see here it's been screwed in. I basically screwed it in. You can see that we screwed it in. And if you adjust this, which zipper this to, it's going to take two hands to do that, but I zipper it to here, then this is good for letters, because I don't get like a gazillion mail, but I can put letters outgoing or incoming here that I need to deal with. I'm going to put stamps and stuff down here. And you can see below here, I took one of the spice rack thingies that came from this unit that I broke apart, and I took one shelf and I made it here for holding knives and other kitchen stuff. Then I decided to make this other area here just to, how people have like a junk drawer with little tools that they use all the time. So for now, I'm putting pencils, pens, and even screwdrivers down here so that I can access it because I was having a hard time finding stuff. Remember my pile here, I'm going through it. And I got to go through it in such a way that I'm organizing. So I'm putting like little scissors and also even a little ruler if I need to do a quick measurement. And of course there's I put a little screw here to kind of hold it in place so it'll stand up, so it doesn't flop around all over the place. But it's like a little junk drawer, and I know it's exposed. Some people say, well, you should cover it up in a drawer. Why not put it in a drawer? I just want it out so that when I want scissors, I can just grab it real quick. If I need to write something and I need a pen or something, I can just grab it and screw something in real quick, although I don't need that many screwdrivers. I'll be cleaning it up. But right now, stuff is just being put out so that I can find it if I need it real quick while I'm doing the building and finishing things up and just fixing things. So these are like the little projects that I've been working on to keep moving forward. Because if I try to deal with the big project, which is the roofing right now, which I am planning on working on today, this weekend I decided, that I don't I can't see the kids this weekend because I have to do all this. I want to finish this up so the kids can actually spend the night over on the weekends or something. So my big project for today is actually going to be to try to close this off. I got to go to Home Depot, buy some more foam to finish that off. You know, the ceiling foam, the insulation, not foam, but the insulation. I'm going to get that big sheet. It's like $20, $30. Then I'm going to cut it up and put that up. Then I also have to have another whole panel that has to go up there. I think it's one panel, might be two. But I'm going to put up a panel, and I got to figure out how to mount it and do it all because I'm going to be doing it by myself. So that's going to be my big project. If I can do that, then the ceiling is done on the inside. And, you know, I may also try to hit the bathroom. This panel was kind of hard to put up, and I may end up doing cutting it up into two pieces. It's just basically this panel right here. So it needs to be put up, and I might even do that before I do the other one. Or I might do the other one before doing this one, because that's a little bit more critical. But the idea is to keep moving forward, even if you're only moving like in baby increments, like, you know, screwing this down, or working on the plug. I still haven't dealt with the blower fan here, because that's kind of a little bit bigger, because I've got to hook a line and, you know, get a live power 12 volts that I'm going to try to hook up and test it all out and get it working. So I know what all needs to be done, and I know some of you are like, why is he working on non-critical stuff? I'm working on non-critical stuff because of the time and the energy level. I want to make sure that I can do something whenever I'm free and have the time to do it. Doing the roofing project or even the door here were kind of big projects. So like right now it's not done. It is working good enough. You know, remember our whole theory, our whole philosophy here on fixing this RV and even my own life right now is good enough. We're just trying to survive. We're just trying to make it work good enough. And as time and energy and resources permit, we're going to make it better than good enough. But in life, if you want to get things done, if you always try to do things perfectly the first time, you might find that you get discouraged and run out of energy and then just give up and don't complete your projects. So if you're working on a project and it's overwhelming, break it down into parts and work on the parts that you can work on. Try to work on the most critical parts first, but if you can't get to the critical parts, work on the smaller parts so that you keep moving forward. The idea is each day, take at least a little bit of time to work on small things, like putting in an L bracket. Some days, all I did was just one set of L brackets. And it might not seem like a lot, but it keeps the momentum going. It keeps me constantly saying, you know what, I did something today. And every once in a while, if you don't want to do something for that day, don't feel bad. You know, everybody needs a break. So take that time to take a break and treat yourself out or do something nice for yourself. And then come back to it when you have a little bit more energy. Because, you know, it does take a lot of energy and I guess motivation to do these things. And when you start feeling yourself running low, but you know you got this big overwhelming project, break it down and say, hey, you know what, today I'm just going to screw in this, I'm going to L bracket in this knife holder. Maybe that's all I did for the day. So do little things like this, and what you're going to find is that you do get things done and you become less depressed because when you look at big projects like this, you know, some people are like, why doesn't he just fix it? I don't just fix it because I don't have the time right now. And getting access to the roof is a problem. I don't want to fall through. So I'm actually planning on rebuilding the entire roof for the RV, believe it or not, sort of. I'm still trying to figure out how to do it in such a way it doesn't look so bad. But this RV, when I finish, it's going to be more like a house, a tiny house, than an RV. I don't know if you have seen that. We're not exactly just putting in just RV components. We're actually putting in some house components, you know, like the wainscoting. We're doing all these things that aren't necessarily RV. And the idea is to make this more like a mobile house on wheels rather than an RV for traveling. And that's why the priority for the engine is not there. I have to... one, it's going to be expensive. It could be expensive, unless Marcelo, you know, is able to get me getting it working without spending too much money. So it's not a priority as long as I have enough power and am able to move the RV. You know, I just won't be traveling cross country in it, or even around the state. That would be nice, but you know, that's not right now in the goals. The goal is to have a nice home where my family can gather, where my kids can spend the weekends with me, where, you know, if things work out, the whole family can move back in together and function as a family again. So don't be discouraged if you have projects that seem overwhelming. If you feel like you can't get things done, take a deep breath, be kind to yourself, and understand that it's normal to feel overwhelmed. Just break it down and say, what can I do? I can't do this big, huge project, but what can I do? And take the little parts, even if it's as simple as putting in an L bracket or going to the store to buy paint. Sometimes that's all the energy that you have and that's all the time, but at least you're doing something. And at the end of the day, you're going to feel like, hey, you know what? I didn't get everything done, but I'm one step closer. And sometimes that's all it takes. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. I am thinking of each and every one of you. Thank you so much. I just, you know, my heart is like so filled with joy and love for all the people who have extended their love and compassion towards me. And, you know, we're going to probably do an episode on it on the Pay It Forward channel, which I'm going to be talking about later today if I have time to, you know, do that episode, which I'm going to try to make time. But, you know, my hope is to get this done. So we're going to try to do that episode and talk a little bit about compassion and kindness and what viewers on this channel have done for me. So until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. I am thinking of each and every one of you. You are in my constant thoughts and prayers, and I appreciate all of those of you who have extended your helping hand, because it took more than one helping hand. It ended up taking a lot of helping hands to get me to the stage. So God bless you all. Please take care. Hopefully I'll be hearing from you or seeing you soon on the Pay It Forward channel. And if you don't know where that is, the link should be under this video. It's also on the other videos. I've been linking it. So click the Pay It Forward channel. Join that channel, because that channel is going to be very interactive. I don't really consider that just my channel. I'm going to consider it the channel for all the viewers who go to that channel. And we'll be talking about that on there. So take care, everyone. God bless you all, and see you there soon. Bye-bye now.